Women for the win. Today, some of America's best-known athletes are women. But for decades, women were shut out of most sports. Until the late 1800s, there were no competitive sports for women. Women were limited mostly to non-competitive physical activities. That slowly began to change. In 1892, the first women's basketball team was formed at Smith College in Massachusetts. 8 years later, women were allowed to compete in the Olympics for the first time. As women slowly gained more opportunities in sports, female athletes began to make headlines. Babe Didrikson Zaharias became one of the first world-famous female athletes. From 1930 to 1932, she was an All-American basketball player. She won 2 gold medals and a silver in track and field at the 1932 Summer Olympics. Later, she became a pro golfer. She won 82 women's golf tournaments during her career, which lasted until 1954.
In the 1940s and early 1950s, women stormed the baseball diamond.
Most young men, including a lot of professional baseball players, were off fighting in World War II. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League was created in 1943 to keep fans interested in the sport. The league lasted for 11 years. In the 1950s, Althea Gibson became the first African-American tennis star, man or woman. During her career, she won 11 Grand Slam tournaments, the most important annual pro tennis competitions. And Wilma Rudolph took the world by storm at the 1960 Summer Olympics, when she became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field. Her wins were even more impressive because of what she overcame off the track. As a child, a series of illnesses weakened Rudolph's left leg so severely that she had to wear a brace for 3 years. Still, by 1970, the only professional leagues for women were in golf and tennis. High schools and colleges didn't have many sports teams for girls either. And the schools that did have girls' teams often gave much more attention and funding to the boys' team. But in 1972, Congress passed a new law called Title IX. It said that public schools and colleges had to give girls and boys equal opportunities in sports. After the law was passed, public schools around the country started creating more sports teams for girls. Title IX also put girls in the game on a professional level, as more women's pro leagues formed. The first season of the Women's National Basketball Association tipped off in 1997. Since then, the popularity of women's sports has soared.
With 4 World Cup titles and 4 Olympic gold medals, the U.S. women's national soccer team is the most successful women's soccer team in the world. The University of Connecticut women's basketball team won 10 championships from 2000 to 2016 and has played in front of hundreds of sellout crowds. And Serena Williams rose to the top of the tennis world, becoming one of the most famous players, male or female, in the world.
In 2017, she broke the record for the most Grand Slam titles of any tennis player in modern-day tennis, with 23. Women in sports have come a long way, and there's no telling what heights they'll soar to